The government has a secret system in which they track your cell phone, your image, your car, your emails, your voice messages, and perhaps more. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's really not all that secret, is it? And we can do it too, can't we? I mean, after all, being a blogger walking around with a camera in your hand, when you see something that shouldn't be happening, it's so easy to simply click on your camera on your cell phone, or a camera like the one I'm holding, and take a picture. Send it to local authorities and let them know what's going on. But you are being watched. And when I talk about government, I'm not just talking about the federal government. I'm talking about your local police department, who today have permission to fly drones in order to surveil high crime areas. And often they catch things that has nothing to do with crime. But one of the cool things is that you can actually see at least some of the tracking that's going on. There's a new product out, or in beta anyway, called Collusion. I'm going to give you a link below. And Collusion allows you to go, when you're on a web page, to see all of the people or all of the links that web page sends information about you being there too. Now there's good reason for some of it, at least depending on your viewpoint. For instance, the advertisements that you see when you're online, when you're on this video in fact, are actually designed, customized for your viewing experience based on your spending habits and your viewing habits and other web pages you've been at, other things that you like. And we make it easy. We share, willingly share, oh, look at this and look at that, and in doing so we build a profile of ourselves. But Collusion's a pretty interesting tool because, you know, when I put it on my computer, I was surprised that the sites that I thought I was the safest at were the most secure and the least likely to be sharing my information were actually the systems that were sharing my information the most. The sites that I go to, and I do go to some that are less reputable sites, and those sites seem to actually share my information less. Now, they did put malware and stuff on the computer, and luckily I have scanners that will catch them doing so and remove that stuff, that adware and malware. But it's still interesting. Now, it's not just the government that is watching you or can watch you. I've got on my cell phone, it's a HTC Evo 3D, and it acts as a hotspot, as a mobile hotspot. And if I'm at a coffee shop and I have that enabled, you would be surprised at how many people connect to it without having any protections turned on their own. I can easily browse their hard drive and look in their folders and see what they're doing. I haven't. I don't have a need to or an interest to. But I have noticed that they do connect. And I have noticed that their information is insecure. If I had the software to do it, I could download their password file and have access to God only knows what. Not only their friends and their neighbors, but perhaps their bank codes and stuff like that. Now, there is a device which is called a network extender. Verizon has it. Anybody can buy it, about $200. And you connect your internet connection to it, and you plug it into the wall, and it extends your connection. And once it gets a GPS coordinates, it becomes a mini tower, or a cell phone tower. And some scientists, interesting gentlemen that they are, hooked it up and put it in a window, and were able to intercept telephone calls and text messages and picture messages that were sent from phones of people who were basically walking by and just connecting to their system as if it was a tower. So I'll put a link in the description for that too. I think that's Rudders TV that's at. But it's interesting, and you would think that with all the surveillance, things would get noticed. You would see odd things, or people would see odd things, and they would record it and report it and stuff like that. And yet, 3 girls were kidnapped and kept for 10 years in a inner city house in Cleveland on Seymour Avenue. Ariel Castro is the gentleman who, and I use that word, of course, very loosely, but is the man who kept them hostage. And there's a news report. I'll put a link. There's a news report that shows a picture gallery of the house from outside and inside. It's really interesting to see how normal the rooms look. You know, you have these pictures in your head of a dungeon type setup and stuff, and there might have been some of that, but more there's pictures of the girls' bedrooms and pictures on the wall and stuffed bunnies and the like sitting around. It's almost shocking to see how normal it looks. Now, of course, you can't go on Google Maps and see the house anymore because yesterday morning, Wednesday morning, the house was razed. That means they tore it down. They took everything out, and that was part of a plea agreement by Ariel Castro that he would give up the house and it would be demolished. And yesterday morning it was. Now, before it was demolished, if you went to Google Maps, you also were not able to see the house because Google Maps in advance actually blurred the house out. So if you go to 2207 Seymour Avenue in Cleveland, Ohio, you won't see the house. You'll see a blurred image of where the house once stood. So I thought that was interesting. At first I thought, well, Google's doing absolutely a positive thing, but then I realized that anytime you find a picture on Google Maps that you find offensive in Street View, while you're looking at that picture, all you have to do is report it, and it will be sent to Google for evaluation. They will look, and if there's an offensive image there, somebody giving the finger, mooning the camera, having sex in their backyard, and the camera caught it, any of that stuff can be blurred out, and that's anything from a person's face to license plate numbers to apparently a whole house. I don't know what the extent is, but I thought that was interesting. That and they raised the house. You can't go by there anymore. It's not very far from here, actually, maybe a 15-minute drive from where I'm at. But I didn't go over there and watch and stuff. I had no interest in doing so. I have watched the case and have been quietly listening to the things that are being said. But at any rate, one of the girls, I think it was Gina, was at the raising of the house, and she had a few words. I'll also put a link to the video. It's here on YouTube, and let you see that. Anyway, I'm sorry that the vlog was late today. I was kind of watching what was going on with the Castro house, and also it was just a nasty day. Just things weren't working out. So you got this vlog a little bit late, but hopefully the information in it was useful to you. Again, go over and check out Collusion, the link in the description that will let you see when you're on a web page what other sites are being notified that you are there and sharing your information. Check out the video about the network extender, and for those of you who are interested in seeing pictures that I talked about from the Castro house, I'll also leave a link to the picture gallery that shows the inside of the house as well as the outside of the house. Until next time, as always, this is Zen saying you be well. Please be sure to like and share this video with others if you found it interesting, and I will see you again soon.